Hey guys, welcome to Brian's Man Cave. So today I'm doing another YouTuber spotlight, and today I'm talking about Toy Addicted Dad, also known for his channel Toys, the Universe, and Everything. Um, I've stumbled upon his channel a little while ago, and I was intrigued because he was talking about things right up my alley, things like Atari 7800. A system that's often not really discussed or talked about. I mean, most people when they talk about Atari, they talk about the Atari 2600, or they skip over to the Atari 5200, the kind of system that sort of let a lot of people down. Even though it was a really cool system, there seemed to be a lot of issues with it. But the Atari 7800 had it right. And, the backwards compatibility where you can play Atari 2600 games on it, and graphics that could match the Nintendo. And so when I saw his videos, and I was like, oh wow, maybe from me posting my own videos, Google said, hey, check this guy out. And so I found him on there. Anyways, yeah, I like his way of doing things. He kind of reminds me of the No Swear Gamer, where he gets a little thorough and he talks, he breaks the game down. He talks about the year it was created. He talks about, all the little things, his opinion on it, gives a little bit of tidbits on it, and kind of runs through a little bit of the gameplay. And that's what I like. I like seeing those type of videos. I like that because if you're new on the scene and you're like scoping out, say you just bought yourself an Atari and you're looking for some games, or you bought a game and you want to learn how to play it. These are the kind of channels that are really great. I mean, I do the same kind of idea. I just don't go that far in depth like some of these other YouTubers do. And so when I find these guys, I really like to, their content. Anyways, let's get down to Toys, Universe, and Everything, also known as Toy Addicted Dad. Like I do, I always go to the About tab. Alright, there. So we got joined December 31st, 2016. I mean, that's pretty good. That's around the time I joined, I think. I was like 16, 17, somewhere around there when I created my channel. And Toys, Universe, and Everything. Good answer to more than a few questions in life, of course. As a parent, it's great to rediscover these things and see our kids react to them as well. Yeah, I always loved that. I loved when I introduced my Atari to my daughter. It was, just to see what her reaction would be, especially when she's growing up in today's world with tablets and modern computing. To see something like the Atari and what she would make of it, and she kind of liked it. I mean, she really did. I never outgrew this stuff in the first place, neither did I, and probably neither did most of the people watching this channel. I still have my wind-up Pac-Man and my original Atari 2600 Heavy Sixer. Okay, so if you don't know what a Heavy Sixer is, that was the first Atari to come out. The first Atari VCS. They called it the Heavy Sixer because it had a much heavier case on it. And then after a while they created what they called the Light Sixer, which I have, and it's a thinner case, a thinner plastic case. And then from there they went on to the Vader, which was a different one. They had the Sears and all these other different Ataris. And then they came out with the Atari Junior in like 89, somewhere around there. And my precious Sega Genesis. Now that's quite the interesting contrast to go from Atari 2600 to Sega Genesis. That's quite like with me, I went from my Intellivision to my Commodore 64 to the Nintendo before I got to the later systems like that. So it's kind of a leap to get to the Atari to the Sega Genesis, but that's pretty cool. Altered Beast and my Sega CD. I don't know nothing about the Sega CD. That came at a time where I was just kind of like, woo, I don't know. I still consider the superpowered toy lineup mini comics. Yeah, okay. So he's into the comics and all that other stuff. That's great. I mean, that's what I'm into too. I like the toys. I'm not too much into comics, but I'm definitely a toy fan. So let's check out the videos. Let's check out what I was checking out too. So he's got all these like Atari 7800, like I was saying. So if you're into the Atari 7800, check it out. And he does his videos in a way where he kind of maps it all out. He does a really good job in keeping a consistency in his videos. So you'll notice that if you watch a couple of his videos. Here he talked about Wheeljack. I haven't got around to checking this one out, but I'm definitely, it's on my mind. I'm always interested in Transformers, so this was great. This one here, he talked about the Mission Impossible. So, Mission Impossible, I brought this one up on my channel as well. It's a game that was released in, North America. It was released also in Europe and all that stuff. But in North America, it was released on the Commodore 64 and in all the other computer systems. Really great game, really awesome game. And then they released it on the 7800 for the Atari, and it had a bug in it. It was broken. You cannot complete it. And I've talked about that. If you check my channel out, you'll see that. But he also mentions it too. He mentions that it's broken and you cannot complete it. Now there is, hacks and all that stuff you can buy, things you can, like people will they fix the game and then they repackage it and then they sell it. There's one called Possible Mission where you can actually complete it. Actually, one of my last few live streams, I tried to complete it and I lost. I didn't get very far. It was kind of funny. This one was interesting. Rampage. He talked about Rampage on the Atari 7800. Again, that's a game that I need to really familiarize myself with because I used to play it on the Commodore 64 back in the day, and I've played it, a little bit here and there. There's a Nintendo version, and the 7800 version is actually pretty cool. I don't have one yet. It's kind of a little more expensive, and I'll probably source it out one day. I hope to get it. And this is another one you talked about was one-on-one basketball. There's a bunch of the sports titles on there. I don't think I've actually tried. I have this cartridge. I don't think I've actually plugged it into my Atari 7800 and gave it a shot. Desert Falcon he talked about here. Another great game. And again, I don't have that on my 7800. I have the Atari 2600 version. And so he really runs over the 7800 version, how much it is, and how much it kind of differs, and really great video. And probably the last video I watched from him was Clax for the Atari 7800. I'm not familiar with Clax. Now, from what I gathered from his video, it was one of those puzzle games. I'm one of those people that fell victim to the Tetris days, where I really enjoyed the Tetris. I wanted to be, I wanted Tetris. In fact, when I bought my Nintendo, that was the one game I just simply had to have was Tetris. And so, watching him talk about Clax and how it was kind of like, a game that sort of would have rivaled Tetris, pretty interesting. So let's check out. He's talked about Froggy here. This is a homebrew. I haven't checked that video out. It's on my list of I got to check that one out because it's actually a homebrew of Frogger for the 7800, which sounds interesting. And down here, of course, Donkey Kong Jr. And again, if you watch my channel, you know that I like Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. So there's still a lot of videos I need to check out from Toy Addicted Dad here. But he's got a lot of great stuff. So if you're into the same stuff that I talk about, if you're into all these, games, and if you like somebody who likes to really break down the game, really show, like do some gameplay footage and really show and talk about it and get deep into it, this is your guy. You gotta check him out. But yeah, I'm just gonna fly through some of the stuff. Midnight Mutants, that's another one. I've never played that game, but it's pretty expensive. And oh yeah, the Super Pac-Man. So he's got a lot of great stuff. So if you're into like Nintendo, if you're into Sega, if you're into the Atari 7800, this is someone you gotta check out. He even has the Retron 77. That's pretty impressive. I don't have one of those either. Oh, and look at that, E.T. for the Atari 2600. Lots of great videos. I just need more time in my life so I can go and check these videos out. Really great stuff. Anyways, hope you check him out. I'm gonna leave a link down below to his channel. Take some time, maybe jump over there, check some of these videos out, and if you liked them, let me know, because I want to know which ones you like too. Anyways, hope you liked the video. Hope you subscribe to my channel. And if you want, you can subscribe to him too. He's a cool guy. And yeah, talk to you later.